Good morning, everyone. Hello, Marge Dreaming. Good morning, good afternoon, or good day, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Angelica. We are going to get started with Marge Dreaming in just a moment here. And I do not like this view, so let me go ahead and stop sharing and reshare so we get a good full screen presentation. Okay, how is that much better, right? And 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Before we get started, this is your last day to win swag, which means be productive in the chat, right? Post where you're from, or in the spirit of Marjorie Demo Jam today, post your favorite MarTech tool. Post in the chat. Let us know your names, where you're tuning in from. And at the end of the session, we will be announcing 3 lucky winners. We will follow up via email with some additional information on how to pick out your swag. But other than that, post in the chat, let us know, and we'll be announcing those winners at the end. Okay. Once again, myself, we are the host, Angelica Cabral, marketing manager here at Sercante, and I'm joined by Rich, who will be taking over in just a few moments here. But we know you don't care about us. You care about the people who are hosting the Demo Jam. Before we get started into Demo Jam, a few recap on Marjorie's award winners, and I'm going to pass it over to Rich.
Hey there, thank you. They should care about us a little bit when we're doing the awards to start with, and then they can shut off and don't have to listen to us for the rest of today. That's fine. So we've got the Marjorie award winners, and these are the award categories. So we're going to announce everyone that has won these, and we're going to go through them. So personalization perfection, the right time, the right marketing message. The award winner for that was, mini drum roll, Zoopla. And the next one we had there was social impact, and that was Lexipol. Angelica beat me to it there slightly. That was for creating a positive change using Salesforce marketing tools. Our next one is the grassroots innovation, and this was using Salesforce marketing tools to scale small businesses. And the winner of that was FTD disorders. And then we had extending Salesforce, so making the most of it, API-driven marketing solutions. And the winner of that was Nebula Consulting. And lastly, best in show. It's like Krafte, but better because it's Salesforce. Best in show was Insurica. So that was a recap of all of the award winners from last night and today. So congratulations to them. All very well deserved. And there was loads of competition for those slots. So if you have an idea next year, make sure you get that in when you start seeing some requests for Marjorie's entries. Okay, so I'm going to hand back to Angelica now to take us in.
Now I'm going to ping it back off to Marcos, who has some special thank yous for everyone who did judge the Marjorie's awards. So I'm going to pass it over to Marcos, and he'll take it away.
Hey everyone, this is Marcos Duran with Marjorie team. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning for the Demo Jam. I know you're excited. I wanted to just take this special time to thank a series of people that have helped us organize this event, put together. So our selection committee is on the screen. We have Jen Casson from Green Key. They're also a sponsor. We have the fabulous Jenna Mobley, who was our panelist for the AMA MOPS edition panel. We also have Vicky Moritz Henry, who was a speaker and also our lead moderator for workshop day on our panel. And then we have, of course, Chris Zulo, who had a presentation on day one, and you can catch him later today as well for a second presentation. So these people are part of the community. They volunteered to like help us out and make sure like we had a good lineup for you guys this year. And so just want to make sure we spend a little bit of time thanking them. We're going to move on to the next slide. In addition, this year we built a social ambassador program to help us really promote and drive that social discussion across social media for Mar Dreaming. This year, as you know, we switched our name from Par Dreaming to Mar Dreaming due to the change in account engagement. And so we also wanted to make it feel a little bit more inclusive to the Marketing Cloud overall community. So in an effort to do that, our goal was to bridge that gap by bringing in key players from the community across the different products. So we have marketing champion, user group leader, ISV partner from Qualified, Brittany Rhymes. We have Jenna Matson from Coastal Cloud. She also leads the community user group leader, and she's a marketing champion as well. We have the fabulous Alia Lin, who is an end user and a customer at Salesforce, but she's been an awesome supporter of account engagement. And you may have seen her moderate a panel here and there earlier this week. We have Ashley Anger, who's representing us from Salesforce. She's former marketing champion and, of course, working at the mothership now. We're going to move over to the next slide and just wrap this up with a couple of more social ambassadors. So former Sercante Dragon, now over at Sunday Sky, marketing champion and customer Rob Walter. The Unstoppable Barack over in UK, big influencer over there in user groups, marketing champion, and overall in the community. And of course, Connor Eaves over at Pep Talk, also marketing champion. So again, I just want to thank all of these folks for their hard work and support because they really contributed to making sure that this was an event that we were all proud of, and we were super organized to make sure you guys all had a great experience. I'm going to go ahead and get off the stage now and pass it back to Angelica so we can start with our awesome demo jam.
All right. Who is ready for Demo Jam? If you're wondering what Demo Jam is, and this is your first time attending, it's where companies get just 3 minutes. There's always companies that go over and there's always companies that go under. So I'm curious to see what we got going on today. But they get 3 minutes to share their amazing products and solutions with you. It's the perfect time to scope out some new tools that might be a perfect addition to your MarTech stack. Each company's demo will fly by. So if you have questions for the Demo Jammers, paste it in the Q&A tab above. If we have time at the end of this session, we will do live Q&A where the Demo Jammers will come off mute and talk to you directly. Or you can also head over to the Sponsors and Resources tab to visit the company's booth where there is additional information and a booth chat. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get our first Demo Jam introduced. We have Lauren Rennolds. Lauren Rennolds is from Denver, Colorado. She is currently an enterprise solutions consultant at LeanData and has been a consultant in the software industry for over 7 years. When she isn't working, she's spending time with family and friends, active in church, and being outside with her dog. All right, Lauren, I will pass it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Just see if I can share my screen here. Typical demo talk track with that one. All right, let me know when I can get started.
You can go.
Awesome. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Reynolds, and today I'm just going to give you an overview of LeanData's revenue orchestration platform, focusing on speed to lead. So we'll start with Book It here. This is our calendar booking tool that allows you to book more meetings with speed and precision needed to transform buyer signals into buying decisions. So if you think about directing prospects post-webinar or through a campaign to a form on your website, or just simply knowing that someone's on your website with that intent to buy by filling out this request demo form. Keep in mind, LeanData integrates with all forms on your websites, whether they're HubSpot or Pardot, for example, and we pass all of the information captured on the form through our matching and routing tools instantly. So you can be matched with the correct person in your organization as that prospect. This form is customizable, so I'll just request the demo here. It pulls up the calendar of the person I'm matched with in your organization. So say I'm a bigger account, you're wanting to match this person with an enterprise account rep, that calendar will be pulled up and I can go ahead and just book a time that's perfect for me. Keep in mind, I'll get a calendar invite on my calendar as well as the person I match with within the organization. Now let's talk about how that lead was routed and how your AE or perhaps SDR was matched there. And we'll talk about the LeanData Flow Builder. So LeanData is native to Salesforce. Keep in mind, we can route any customer standard object, so focusing on the lead object today. And that lead, once it comes through the form itself, will be passed through various nodes here, what we call these drag and drop options. So passing through multiple types of decision criteria, all of this is code-free. So you can come in here, perhaps you want that lead to be marketing qualified. All you'd have to do is just add a new rule, apply that here. We can pass this lead through a missing data or bad data check. Perhaps it's a freemium email account. Send it through an enrichment provider. We can check for duplicate leads or contacts, merge those leads and contacts automatically, and then look for account matches. Our fuzzy matching algorithm actually matches on 6 different fields as opposed to your standard single domain match. So if there is a match, perhaps we can match it to an open opportunity, maybe look by different account types. Over here, if there isn't an existing account, you can drop it into, say, a round robin tool with your SDR team. You can send them a Slack or Teams notification, letting them know that they've been assigned a lead. You can also add an SLA. We offer out-of-the-box dashboards. You can track that time to action. Perhaps you'd like to drop this into your sales engagement tool with a cadence or sequence. We're really just focusing here that lead is contacted in a timely manner. We also offer full auditing capabilities. So I have our routing insights here with just another graph, legends on the right-hand side, so you can see all success and any bottlenecks that your leads have passed through. So you'll notice here there was a bottleneck around the enterprise territory. If I drill into that bottleneck, it takes me over to our audit logs. Our audit logs are completely searchable. So if you're looking for a specific lead, what path that lead took, you can certainly search here by different criteria. So lead information, path information, and the outcome, I can even drill into that error here. So you'll notice lead was stopped during the enterprise territory. And I can drill into that specific territory, see that I have a couple inactive Salesforce users and swap them out for a new user. So the idea here with orchestrating your revenue is just that quick speed to lead, of course, across your Salesforce tech stack as well.
Perfect. Hi there. Just jumping back in. That looked great. Really good, strong start to our demo jams. Thank you for that, Lauren.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for Angelica to jump back in. There she is. And we'll look to jump into our next demo. Right, so I now have the pleasure of introducing Jacob from Sercante Labs. Jacob is a product manager for Sercante Labs. His focus is to find new ways to help marketers connect their tech stack together and make campaigns run smoothly. He's also the guy to ping if you're looking for recommendations on working from home accessories like a mic. He loves learning about and solving really interesting issues and challenges with marketing, cloud, account engagement, and Salesforce by building some cool tools. And we're going to take a peek at some of those today. So I'm going to pass that over to Jacob now.
Right. All right. Hello, everyone. Let me know when we're ready to go. right. Well, I will take that silence as we're ready to go on in. So thank you everyone for the time this morning. We want to go through an idea of what if you were able to draw a box over a map and then be able to market to everyone inside of that map through Pardot. Well, we have a new product. It's our location services solution. With this solution, you're able to use Pardot forms to capture this information without having to capture city, state, or country information on the form. So we have a standard Pardot form. We hit submit, and we are able to capture pieces of information. We see the submission came through, and we're missing a good chunk of information. We just captured what was on the form. Well, with our solution, we're able to integrate with Pardot forms and form handlers. We're using a form handler in this example. We're able to submit our form, and from here, we will be able to refresh the page. And we can see it's not instant, but with a quick refresh, we see that we have now been able to capture the IP address of this form submission. So without having to ask extra fields of city, state, location information, we've captured IP address, latitude and longitude for the general area of that IP address, and that translates into country, city, and state. Where this goes into how we market better for our audience is being able to put this into a dynamic list. Traditionally, you would need to be able to have different fields in your dynamic list rules that specify city includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for location. And while that's doable, it can get difficult because when you're trying to market to an entire region like the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, where I am located, that's a lot of locations and that's a lot of niche sub-cities within the entire Metroplex. I want to be able to use this latitude and longitude field to bulk search the area to then be able to say, I want to market to everyone in that area. And then to take it a step further, be able to go into an engagement studio program that allows us to specify on those dynamic lists, or if we want to take it a step further, segment based on that latitude and longitude field from the engagement studio program itself. So again, we want to find new ways and find ways for marketers to be able to have more ways to personalize their content and talk to the specific region that they are trying to market to. Additionally, with this solution, we can take it a step further and from the form submission, call out whether this is a spam or target account based on the email address or title. So for our example of Brandy the Fox, we found the email address was Salesforce, and we found that the title was Director of Moment Marketing. From there, we knew this wasn't spam based on the title, and it was a target account based on the email domain. For our previous record around Blaze the Wolf, we found that the email address was junk, and the title was Trailhead Tester. If we refresh this record, we're going to be able to see that this is suspected spam by the title, and the target account was not matched. So with that being said, we're really excited to share our location services solution with everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob. That's perfect. Okay. I will hand over to Angelica to introduce our next demo.
Drum roll, please. It is Samantha from Stensul. And before we jump into Samantha with Stensul, Jacob, that was awesome. I can't tell you how many clients I have asked about location data, really. So moving on to our next demo jammer, Samantha Krafte is Stensul's team lead in their solutions consulting division. In her current role, she leads the company's efforts to show the Stensul email creation platform, which we will take a peek at today. It can make an organization's email creation process more efficient, so email marketing teams have more time to be strategic to optimize email performance and impact business outcomes. All right, Samantha, if you want to come on stage, share your screen, it is all yours.
All right. Let's go. Okay. So hi, everyone. I'm Sam Krafte, team lead of the solutions consulting team at Stensul. We offer a collaborative email creation platform that greatly reduces the time and struggle that it takes to get an email from an initial idea or request to being deployed from an email or marketing automation solution. So here I am showing the builder side of Stensul. This is where users can create emails using pre-built and render-tested modules that have brand guidelines built in. Once an email is created, they can kick off a native review and approvals process, and then finished emails can be automatically pushed to an email deployment solution. So when I click to create an email, I land in the builder where I can either drag to add modules or click to build the layout of my message. And as I mentioned, these modules have the brand guidelines locked in, where all emails created will meet those standards, they'll render as expected, and they'll include all the necessary components to be accessible to all recipients and remain compliant. Here's what I mean. I can't actually break or change this logo. I'm only provided with a couple of alignment options and some color choices for the background. Even if I don't have this helper text, the platform will let me know if I've exceeded any line limits. Similarly, I'll know if I bump up against any character limits. And if we come down to this body copy module, I'm only able to style this title text in a few ways, with 2 font choices, a couple of alignment options, and a color palette for the font. If I click into this body copy, you'll see my styles have expanded. I have many more options here. If I click into the margin, I can turn on and off optional elements. And along that same line, I can come down to this 2-column module, and just by toggling off a few more elements, I have a completely different look and feel. These flexible modules and permissions enable teams to work faster in many ways. For some, it's by enabling more distributed work where requesters can actually start building from the start, or for others, by empowering central teams to work faster with less room for error and less back and forth. Now that our email is created, we can kick off a native review and approvals process where we're defining who needs to be involved in the approval process and in what order. Once we generate that proof, reviewers can come in and review every part of the email. They can leave comments. They can see comments that others are making. They can also preview different views. And then once everyone's feedback's incorporated, they can ultimately approve. Once an email is approved, that email can be pushed automatically to Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Account Engagement, or Pardot. And now that process that previously took many weeks can happen in a matter of days. We'd love to hear from you if you'd like to learn more.
That's perfect. Thank you, Samantha. Ending exactly on time there as well. Great.
Ooh, that's a good that's a good one, Samantha.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Stensul does have a booth, so make sure you stop by during your breaks today and ask all sorts of questions. All right, Rich, go ahead and bring it home with Ariel.
Okay, perfect. So I'm now going to introduce Ariel from StackMoxie. She is the head of customer success for StackMoxie with over 9 years of experience in the marketing and sales automation space. A pioneer of automated QA and monitoring for MarTech, she specializes in system performance and is responsible for building observability solutions across the stack. Ariel is a powerful force in the workplace and uses her skills and energy to encourage and grow others in the testing and monitoring space. In her free time, Ariel loves to garden, travel, and play paintball with her nephews. I'm going to hand over now to Ariel.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. I don't see where there's a place to share my video.
At the bottom of your screen, there should be a little icon that has an arrow pointing upwards.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Waiting for the black circle of death to end. Okay. So as marketing ops people, how often have you heard demand gen and sales complain that we are a bottleneck? But the truth is, if we don't get every detail right, it is worse than a bottleneck. It is a train wreck. And StackMoxie is here to help. Automating testing makes the tedious and time-consuming tasks fast, easy, and right. All of the details, filling out forms, validating fields, checking emails are now automatically done. Even the things that analytics and sales reps require, everything is covered and done with the click of a button. When it isn't working, Stack Moxie emails or Slacks you in real time before it can impact your customer experience or sales cycle. As you can see, the homepage displays a dashboard with the status for each of the operational processes you want to monitor. Think of these as folders that house your most critical business functions. Maybe you want one folder to monitor your chatbots and another to monitor your integrations. You can also organize folders by product grouping. A feature that is unique to Stack Moxie is the ability to standardize the quality assurance process for programs and campaigns. With our spreadsheet trigger feature, we can take your manual QA checklist and add it to a spreadsheet and let the spreadsheet do the testing. Let me show you how we QA our own webinars. First, the campaign manager, paid ad agencies, and field managers build the webinar program and landing page. When they are done, they cut and paste the URL in a spreadsheet and select the Run button. Now Stack Moxie will check everything and validate that everything just works. So that seems pretty simple, but how does it work? So let me show you. Stack Moxie navigates to the website, fills out the form, and then validates the lead journey, including checking for broken links in the email, proving the campaign and program as set up and meet requirements as expected. As the admin, all I have to do is set up the checkpoints once in Stack Moxie, and it can be rinse and repeatable. The Stack Moxie also offers a simple checklist that ensures your Pardot web and email implementation are working as expected. With Stack Moxie's Pardot checklist, you can get a holistic overview of the health of your Pardot business units. You can easily view your organization at a glance and validate that primary configurations are set up as expected. The Pardot checklist reviews SBF, tracking codes, email blacklist, IP address, tracker domain verification, Pardot to SFDC lead mapping, and SFDC sync time. Running this checklist on a weekly basis ensures that critical email and landing page tracking configurations are set up correctly and remain performing at peak. With Stack Moxie, you'll be able to launch campaigns faster across all of your Salesforce and Pardot tech stack. You'll finally be able to pinpoint errors faster and quit all the constant firefighting with misconfigurations. If you're interested in testing us out, you can set up your free instance at stackmoxie.com.
Perfect. Thank you, Ariel. That's great. I'm just going to hand over to Angelica to introduce our last demo.
That's right. And it is Garrett over from DESelect. Garrett Menichini, I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. Garrett, marketing leader focused on product marketing, revenue enablement, and go-to-market strategy. He has helped, not enabled, build world-class brands like Southwest Airlines and grow business with Fortune 500 companies like Meta and Whole Foods Market. He has a wide range of experience in SaaS, working closely with marketing and sales, products, and engineering teams to help drive revenue. All right, Garrett, come on stage. Show us what you got working for us.
Sure. So I'll while this screen loads for me here in a second, what I'm going to do is put everyone in the mindset of a marketing team at an organization. So maybe you are a marketer who went to school and is passionate about messaging to your customers. What you want to do is work on marketing. You don't become a marketer to become a software engineer and have to work with things like structured query language in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And so that's what DESelect set out to fix and to help. At the same time, DevOps teams, IT teams, and data teams don't like getting stuck building SQL queries. They want to focus on the work that matters to them. And so that's what DESelect's out to fix. And so we are a marketing enablement company specifically focusing on making Marketing Cloud much more simple for all marketers to accomplish the same things. Essentially, we want to unlock the value of Marketing Cloud. So let me show you DESelect. Everyone knows this panel in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Up at the top right, you have the App Exchange. You can find DESelect segment right here. And so when you load DESelect segment, this is what you find, which is our dashboard. And you find a set of selections, or you can consider this audience segments that you can create. And so what this is the process of pulling your data together from multiple sources, audience or customer segmentation, or working with your data so that you can get the targeted audience for that hyper-personalized campaign that you want. And so what we do is we create a new selection. And what this is the process of joining this data together. And so right here, this is the most exciting thing, I think, of this screen. Right here, this simple list is all of the data you have in Marketing Cloud. So any of your Salesforce data extensions, synchronized, shared, you can get access to data views. That all lives right here. And so if I want to combine one source with another, again, to get the data I want for a campaign, all I have to do is drag and drop. Before this, what you're doing is building SQL. Now, you don't have to get crazy with this, but you have this power at your hand. You can define what these joins look like in the relationship of this data. I also, down here, marketers, have the ability to filter as simply or complex as I want to get more and more clear on this data and to get more and more targeted for the segment that I want to reach, so reach the audience we want at the right time. We can also, moving on from that screen, after we've pulled that data together, we can define our target data extension, and we can also create a new data extension on the fly very quickly. And then finally, once we're done with this process, we come to this preview screen. And so this screen runs the SQL query that we've built through these drag and drop tools, and we get a sampling of the data below. This data you can use to check to see the query that you've built and the instructions you're giving to Marketing Cloud to see how accurate it is. And you can get a sense for if there's revisions need to be made. Beforehand, you have to go and write an entirely new SQL query. No one likes doing that. Something that's also really cool here too is you can actually go in and you can view the query that you've built, and you can share this with your data teams. You can share this with IT teams as well. So again, the entire point of this is to simplify Marketing Cloud. And if you want to see this more for yourself, because it went so fast, you can go to DESelect.com/tour, and you can actually try this out yourself.
That's perfect. Thank you, Garrett. Okay, I was a bit ahead of myself and said this was the last one. We had a slight change in the order, so that's on me. So there will be one more. You have not been forgotten, Niels. So our last demo of this year's Demo Jam is Niels Fogt from Trade.io. He is a Senior Director of Automation Solutions who runs a RevOps automation practice for Trade.io. His team has deep experience using low-code iPaaS to optimize critical go-to-market processes across the revenue, organization, and tech stack. You can take it away, Niels.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so what I want to talk to you all about is extending your marketing automation platform with low-code automation. Oftentimes there's solutions that require some special accommodations, and today I want to give you just a brief example of that. This demo was inspired by a post I saw in the Marketing Ops Pros community by Amanda, where she was getting an influx of spammy form submissions from her Pardot forms. And if you think about this in terms of the overall lead lifecycle jobs to be done, we're sitting here in the cleanse stage where we want to make sure we have good data before we're actually recording it and it's permeating throughout our systems of truth. The way this solution architecture is going to look is we're going to have a Pardot form. And upon submitting that form, it's going to hit Tray.io through what's known as a webhook trigger. And we're going to call the Clearbit Risk API to find out if that email is valid, if it's from a disposable email vendor, and then we're going to update some records in Salesforce as we go. So here we have a form, and if I fill that out with my information and use a disposable email vendor, a little bit more information here. What's going to happen after I submit this form is in the background, through this little bit of code on the completion actions section of our Pardot form, we're going to do what's known as an AJAX request, sending all the form data over to our webhook endpoint. And so here in Tray, I have my webhook trigger, and the endpoint is what's known as our public workflow URL that I would copy from here and put back into my Pardot form. And what we can do once we have data in here is we can actually pass it to any other step in the process. So in this case, I have a connector for Clearbit risk, and I want to calculate the risk of this email. So I'll need to map the email to this step. And we do that through what's known as the connector snake. So we're simply pulling the field to a previous step where I can now choose any data point from that step to use, in this case, an email. And if I kick over to the logs, I can see every execution and exactly how long each of these executions took. And I can see every single step in that process. So in this case, if I look at the trigger, I can see every field from my form here, including the disposable email. And if I look at my Clearbit risk step, you can see that I passed it through, and Clearbit risk responded and told me, yes, this is a valid email, but it's from a disposable provider. So now if I want to complete my solution, I need to start adding some extra steps to the process. The next step in the process is to actually search for that any records in my CRM so I can update it with that data. So here I have a snippet that I've previously configured that I'm going to drop onto the canvas, where I'm looking for records in Salesforce. In this case, they're lead records, and I want to return the email and lead ID where the email is equal to the email from the form submission. I simply map the data through again. And then the next step in my process is I want to loop through any email that I've found. So I'll need to use a list loop the records that are returned from Salesforce. And I want to update each of those records by choosing the lead ID. And then I want to map the data from Clearbit risk to say, was that email valid? Is it disposable? And I can update every single record in Salesforce. So here, if I want to do the process again, I'm going to use the valid email this time. We're going to hit go. And then in real time, we can actually see this, see these records getting updated in Salesforce just by simply clicking over to the logs. Here's my execution. I can see that this time I got some data from Clearbit risk. It's not disposable. It is valid. And each record's getting updated in Salesforce.
Okay.
That's it.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for that, Niels. Okay. I am just going to hand over to Angelica now, who's going to lead us onto our next segment.
Our next segment is a thank you, a huge thank you to all of our demo jammers. And that's a wrap on Demo Jam. We have a few other goodies going on today in this presentation, so don't leave just yet. We're about to launch a poll. And you folks vote. You vote for your favorite tool. You vote for a tool that you've used maybe, or one that you're looking forward to using. So on the upper right, we're going to see the poll launch in just a few moments here. And everybody should be getting a notification saying, hey, there's been a poll launched. And we'll give you folks a minute to fill that out. Rich, which one was your favorite demo?
Ooh, it's tricky to pick. They all had, if I could be honest, they are all winners, but that's a bit of a cop out answer. I would say one that I've definitely used or have had experience in using is obviously the in-house solution that we've got from Labs, but I've definitely seen and interacted with some others with the DESelect guys at Dreamforce, and seeing that tool showcased is very powerful. But they've all got really unique and fundamentally fantastic solutions they're all trying to achieve. I have just seen that there is no poll live yet, so I am just going to have a look into that.
That's quite all right. I think our team's troubleshooting on the back end. Just hang tight, stick with us. My favorite, if you're interested, I know you didn't ask, but my favorite was LeanData. And I'll tell you why. Because I had a client using LeanData, I want to say maybe about 6 months ago, and I just became an uber nerd. You know, when you get first introduced to a new tool and you just want to learn everything about it, certifications they have available, they have resource guides and everything. So LeanData was the one for me. All right.
And if you knew of Angelica from our keynotes yesterday, she loves documentation and process mapping. So that would probably be why they've won her over.
I sure do. All right. So you folks are going to refresh your browser, which means I'll pop away for a minute and then we'll come back. But refresh your browser and you will see that poll come up. We will stream it live on the screen here in just a moment. But we want to make sure you have a few moments to hit that refresh and then get back onto that poll tab. I'm hearing refresh worked in the chat, which is great. Something else that I really loved in the chat was all of the GIFs. Somebody had a sloth GIF and it just made my Friday.
I can't look at anything to do with sloths anymore because Tamara in our team at Sercante has a phobia of sloths. And I know, crazy, I know, shout out to Tamara, but that she really does not like sloths, thinks there's something terrifying about the slow, methodical movement that they have. I know. Most people think they're cute and cuddly, and DESelect have it as their mascot, I believe, as well. Or Stensul?
No, I think
someone.
It's Stensul. Samantha,
Stensul.
do you want to come back on screen and talk about your sloth? Here she comes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
So I actually have one right here.
Oh, see?
I hope he's not scaring anyone. This is also an old t-shirt. But what are you wondering about the sloth? Can you hear me? Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, okay. I lost you all
can
for a
you
second.
answer something for us? Can people get sloths from you folks?
They can.
Oh, they can. Okay. Stensul does have a booth, so stop by. See what you can do about getting the sloth. All right, Rich.
Okay.
We're ready for that poll, right?
That's fine. Yeah, I have just refreshed it so I can see it as well. We are ready. It looks like they're coming in. I feel like we're at horse races and we're sort of guiding people through. You know, it's like, and they're ahead by one, one behind, like moving up on the inside. I know, crazy. But we'll probably give this another couple of minutes or a minute or so just to get them coming in. Don't forget to vote. There are some very close numbers there, so you could sway it either way.
Man, I think we just knocked Sercante Labs off the map because we talked about the damn sloth.
Oh, I know. Hey, there you go. That's great.
Oh man, these sloth gifts and pictures, they are blowing up the chat. That is so funny.
I will admit I am a big one for a GIF and continuously posting the DJ Khaled one within Sercante. It's a fan favorite. Okay. We will probably give it one more minute then. So if you haven't voted yet, please do vote.
Get them in, get them in. Ooh, DESelect and Trey, you guys are neck and neck. Any offers in the chat you can you can put in to persuade people. Oh, my favorite LeanData only has 4 votes. Sorry, Lauren. I'm a major fan though. So that makes up for some votes.
That counts as like 10 votes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Megan says she's on her way to vote in the poll. Awesome. All right, we got about 30 seconds left here until we close. Yep. And then we'll make final numbers. Ooh,
I feel like a good idea.
Some votes back from.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like it's close. Let's wait and see. Probably about 15 more seconds. So let's see how that happens. Also, I do think a mascot poll needs to happen. I agree with you there. Mike, there's a lot of good mascots out there.
Oh, this is...
Okay. I'm going to do a countdown to 10 seconds, and then we'll take it as it is. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, let's close that poll.
Oh, goodness.
Unbelievably, Or we have a tie.
This is what you guys did to us. This is what you guys did to us.
I know. Well, there we go. So, as you can see, a tie for the best tool as voted for by the people in the session and the chat. We can see as a joint interest there of Sercante Labs and Stensul.
Yeah.
But all of these, as you've seen today, and you're probably well aware, Dave, that is a terrifying GIF that's just gone in the session chat, I can say. But I'm just going to say, like, absolutely, all of these demos are fantastic and brilliant. Every one of them is designed to solve a problem. They have all come out and given up their time to share that with you and to give you some insight into that. So if you have any more questions about them, feel free to reach out to them. They are all more than happy to hear from you.
All right. You folks didn't see the Sercante dragon, but Sercante also has a mascot, the dragon. Let's do a tiebreaker just for fun. In the chat, sloth or dragon? Use GIFs too. Use GIFs. Sloth or dragon? Ooh, we got a dragon. That's awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and announce our swag winners. Again, we will be following up with details next week via email on the link that you can go to access the Trailblazer store. And I believe you get to pick an item out of what's available for you to select. So let's go ahead and announce these winners. Rich, drum roll, please. All right, swag winners. Emily Stiles. Emily Stiles is our first swag winner. Mike Hole is our second swag winner. And then we also have Becky Willis is our third swag winner. Awesome. Congratulations to our swag winners. Again, we will be following up next week with an email link on details. Now, let's cover a few items before we wrap up. We have just shy of 5 minutes here. Today is Mar Dreaming Day number 3, which means today is the last day to take advantage of a few things like Genius Bar. Genius Bar are one-to-one consultant appointments with some Sercante experts. If you have burning Salesforce questions, Marketing Cloud questions, Marketing Cloud account engagement questions, head over to the sponsors and resource tab, click on that Genius Bar booth, and you will find a link to a Calendly page to book an appointment. Today's the last day. 1 p.m. Eastern is when Genius Bar shuts down. So take advantage, chat with somebody. If you have some end of year goals, maybe that you're working on because it's Q4, and we know that's everybody's favorite time this year, ping some of your ideas off of our experts. We're here for you. Another thing you don't want to miss out on, sponsors and resource tab. We had a ton of questions today in the chat about where can I find this information? What are some details about this sponsor, this demo jam? So a lot of our demo jammers today do have sponsor booths set up. So head over to that sponsors and resource tab. There's ebooks, training, and more linked out there. And then lastly, if you were here on day one, our CEO at Sercante, Andrea, had an amazing open keynote about building a support network and finding your people. And that's what our people tab is all about. Our people tab on the navigation bar has their bio, their LinkedIn, hopefully, their title. Connect with people that you really feel are going to bring you to the next level within your network, within your career. It's always great to find a mentor. All right, moving on. Last few things before bringing it to a close here. Panel discussion later on at 11:10 a.m. on exploring B2B marketing trends and best practices with Marketing Cloud account engagement. Directly following that, we also have a session on the future of personalization in marketing using Salesforce CDP. We've been hearing a lot about CDP, so be sure to join that at 12:05 p.m. And then closing out our Friday, we do have a closing keynote that is bringing the magic back. Or bring the magic, I'm just trying to remix here, bring the magic to B2B marketing with Jeannie and account engagement. Jeannie, another thing we've been hearing a lot about. Head over to that closing keynote this afternoon, and we will officially be wrapping up Mar Dreamin'. Yeah. All right. Lastly, huge thank you to all of our sponsors. Again, without you folks, Mar Dreamin' wouldn't be possible. So thank you for joining us this year and spreading the word about Mar Dreaming. And then it's just a thank you. We have about 2 minutes on the clock. Were there any I don't see any pressing questions in the Q&A.
No.
We can quickly take a look at chat.
No, I don't see anything in there. I guess the only last thing I can kind of say to everyone is thank you so much for kind of joining us on Demo Jam again this year. If your company has a cool product that you wanted to get in, that you want to get involved with, then get involved with Mar Dreaming and showcase it for everyone here. Otherwise, it's been great. These speakers have given up their time and really kind of given us a very brief insight into their amazing products. So again, if you want any more information from them or any more insight, do reach out to them. They'll be in the sponsors and resources sections with a booth, or I know that some of them are dropping some messages into the chat. And as Angelica said, we'll share all of the slides and recordings all next week. So everything will be, you'll be able to access it all and see it all again.
Awesome. Great closeout. All right, everybody, take that minute break to grab a cup of coffee, some tea, if that's your jam, and let your dogs out, say hi to your kids, and then we'll meet you folks back here shortly. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.